St. Augustine, Florida. Another muggy summer day. Scott Gordon takes to the clouds for a routine test flight, then readies to land. But there's nothing routine about this day. 2 wheels where there need to be 3. No one is more alone than the pilot of a crippled aircraft. Those on the ground can only watch, helpless, or so you'd think.
Well, Scott had told us on the radio that, you know, he was getting 2 lights, not 3 like you should, and it was the left main was not showing. So we went out on a little patio area there and with Jim, and he had some binoculars and had Scott fly by, you know, and we would look to see, and we did verify that the wheel was not down.
When death is in the air, it strikes fast. But when it hesitates, people will try anything to cheat. They needed a plan. Enter Jim Moser, aerobatic stunt pilot.
Much of my background growing up in an aviation family was performing in air shows. And I worked with my dad, who was part of the air shows, in what was called the world's smallest airport, which was driving a truck with a platform mounted on top of it. And he would come in and land the airplane on top of the platform truck.
Jim came up with the idea of pulling a trailer behind a truck and having Scott come in and just set that crippled wing down on the truck.
Kind of a windy, gusty day, so I couldn't slow him down much more than about 90 miles per hour. And the truck pulling that heavy trailer couldn't do more than probably 75 or 80.
He kind of just inched up beside me. We were almost to 80 miles an hour, but not quite. So he just kind of creeped up beside us on the left-hand side and flew by. And I'm looking right at it when it went by.
If I got too slow there, the airplane would stall, and then I'd end up hitting the truck or, crashing out of control into the runway, and that would have really caused a lot of damage.
It was dangerous, and it was not an option. But as we were driving back to think some more, Joe said,
"Have him do that again, and I'll pull it down." Because it was just right there. It was just right beside the truck.
After we looked at all the different negatives and positives, we decided, yeah, this was doable.
Jim calls up on the radio and says, "Scott, we got another idea." And I'm like, "Well, okay, what do you got this time?" And he says, "Well, how about if we put Joe in the car and come up underneath you and see if we can match speeds and see if he can reach up and grab the gear."
It was a gamble. A life saved or lives lost to gravity and the spinning blades of a deadly propeller.
It was a real kind of windy, gusty day. I had to really kind of jockey the power back and forth at just a perfectly constant speed. If the airplane would have hit a pocket or something, we could all ended up with a big ball on the end of the runway down there.
Things started getting busy. I mean, hanging out of the roof of the car, doing 80 miles an hour, and the wind resistance was quite strong. It was hard to hold your eyes open. I was close to the propeller, but when it's spinning that fast, you don't see it. You just hear it. That fear of it coming down on top of the car is there. I was stretched out trying to reach it, and I was about 12 inches short of getting my hands around it.
You have to judge 6 inches, and you know Joe's head is right below you there, and you don't want to go down 10 or 12 inches. So everything's just very small corrections.
He backed off the throttle, and the airplane settled down just about another foot. And I can remember getting my fingers around the edge of the tire, just not a good grip, but just around the edge. And I gave one little pull, and it wasn't enough, so I walked it up around the edge of the tire and then yanked it for everything I had. You could see it climbing back up, and all 3 legs were down. It was like, wow. The wheel finally came down.
Just as it came down, I got that 3rd green light. It was a lot of adrenaline going there, it was really incredible. It really was, and he was able to pull it off.
And there was absolutely no damage except for the top of the Audi, because he pulled the wheel down. All I could hear was this pounding sound. And what it was is Joe was so excited that he was pounding on the top of the car.
When I got in and pulled in with the airplane, I knew that we pulled something off here that probably had never been done before, and who knows, might never be done again. I'm sure I probably wouldn't try it again.
You had some people around there with imagination. You had some people with experience. Everybody came together. It's something that you don't see every day on the TV.
Definitely something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Jim Moser is the kind of guy that I'm sure will be my friend for life, and this just brings us that much closer together. And Joe really stuck his neck out for me. He did something for me that he didn't have to do.
To me, it was just friends helping friends.